Greetings, bone collectors and future carbon footprints. You've stumbled back into the channel. Don't worry, extinction isn't mandatory. Statistically speaking, our existence is a cosmic clerical error. Over 99.9% of all species are extinct. That's not a warning, it's a spoiler. So if you're feeling unique, just remember, you're in the 0.1% club and the universe is still taking attendance. Comforting, right? Like a lullaby sung by a meteor. It's the kind of reassurance that tucks you in with existential dread. But tonight, let's honor evolution's greatest misfires. Think of this as a prehistoric roast. No participation trophies, just fossils and regrets. We're here for the gloriously odd, the spectacularly strange, and the things that would haunt Darwin's dreams. The evolutionary experiments Mother Nature tried to delete from her search history. Forget your cinematic T-Rexes and heroic Triceratops, please. These are the party crashers of evolution, showing up confused, underdressed, and ready to make things weird. Tonight, we're unearthing the fossils that prove natural selection has a wicked sense of humor and a mean right hook. Let's start with a creature that looks like evolution's fever dream after binge-watching avant-garde art films and skipping sleep for a week. This is Hallucigenia, named because even the scientists thought they were hallucinating. The name means to wander in the mind, which is paleontologists speak for we have no idea what we're looking at, but it's definitely weird enough to haunt our dreams. For decades, the scientific community played a game of which way is up and lost every round. Some thought it strolled around on its own spikes. Others figured it had decorative tentacles, because why not? Logic had clearly left the building. Imagine trying to commute by walking on a bed of knives. That's not evolution. That's a rejected Cirque du Soleil audition. Eventually, they realized the whole thing was upside down. Classic. The legs were actually spikes, and the tentacles were, in fact, on its back. Nature was just trolling us at this point, which honestly is only marginally less confusing. It's like discovering your uncle's toupee is actually a chin strap. For ages, nobody could even find its head. One end was a blob, the other end was a slightly different blob. It was the original guess which end is which party game. Eventually, paleontologists found a head, primitive eyes, a mouth, and, just to keep things spicy, teeth where you least expected them. For a while, they thought it might have eaten with its own rear end. Evolution, apparently, had a sense of humor and a dark side. Hallucigenia, proof that sometimes even nature just shrugs and says, good luck figuring this one out. Slithering into the spotlight, it's time for a creature that makes Indiana Jones cry in his sleep. And by snake lovers, I mean people who think their worst nightmare needs more scales and fewer exit strategies. Meet Titanoboa, the original reason to never ever go skinny dipping in a swamp. Picture a snake so massive it could double as a carnival ride, 40 feet long, 2,500 pounds, and absolutely not OSHA approved. This beast could swallow a crocodile whole and still have room for dessert. For Titanoboa, all you can eat was a personal challenge. Imagine a snake so big it could wear a school bus as a feather boa and still look underdressed for the occasion. It didn't bother to hiss. Titanoboa just exhaled, and the Richter scale filed a restraining order. Today's anaconda would look like a shoelace next to this overgrown fever dream. Sorry, anaconda, you're not even the opening act. It's the difference between watching a scary movie and realizing you're actually in the director's cut, where everyone dies in the first 5 minutes. Titanoboa slithered around 60 million years ago, right after the dinosaurs clocked out, because apparently the universe thought, let's try horror but make it longer. Some cosmic intern must have hit stretch on the snake template and then spilled coffee on the keyboard. Voila, nightmare noodle. Titanoboa wasn't just part of the ecosystem, it was the landlord, the bouncer, and the reason everyone else paid rent on time. Imagine being a fuzzy little mammal minding your business and suddenly the sun disappears. Spoiler, it's not an eclipse, it's lunch. You look up and see a snake's head staring at you like you're the last slice of cake at a birthday party. Except you're the cake. You know that moment in the ocean when something brushes your leg and you instantly regret every life choice that led you there? For a split second, you see your entire existence. Then realize you're just an appetizer on the world's weirdest menu. Now, imagine that something is a 60-foot shark with teeth big enough to double as salad tongs. Meet Megalodon, the reason Poseidon needed therapy. This wasn't just a big shark. This was the shark that made other sharks consider a career change. 7-inch, serrated steak knives for teeth. You could carve a Thanksgiving turkey or a small car with one of these. Scientists say its bite could crush a car. Not bite through, a full-on, oops, that was your Prius kind of crush. Your little shark cage? That's just a bento box for Megalodon. Hope you brought soy sauce. This apex predator didn't nibble on fish. It treated whales like popcorn shrimp. Its hunting style? Ram a whale so hard its ancestors feel it, then circle back for the all-you-can-eat buffet. Megalodon was the Mike Tyson of the sea. If Mike Tyson was the size of a bus and had a dental plan that terrified insurance companies, 60 feet long, 50 tons. That's 3 great whites stacked end to end, or 1 Megalodon on a juice cleanse. So, raise a glass for Megalodon, the reason the ocean once had a no refunds policy. Its extinction is the only reason beach vacations exist. Thanks to Megalodon's absence, we get movies like Finding Nemo instead of Everyone Dies, the documentary. Sleep tight. If you have a phobia of things with too many legs, now's your last chance to run. Because it's time to meet Arthropleura, the original reason for sleeping with the lights on. Picture a millipede so massive it could double as a park bench. A living, armored subway train slithering through ancient forests thanks to an atmosphere so rich in oxygen, even the insects had gym memberships. Imagine hiking when the ground starts to tap out Morse code. That's not your heartbeat. It's the local megafauna. Scientists say Arthropleura was a vegetarian. Comforting, right? As if being trampled by a salad bar on legs is somehow less traumatic. It had no predators, because nothing with self-preservation instincts would mess with a spiked armored centipede the size of a kayak. This is why bug spray exists, and why it's never enough. Let's escape to the ocean, because clearly the only thing worse than land monsters is what's lurking underwater. Enter Dunkleosteus, a 30-foot armored fish with a face only a sledgehammer could love. This thing didn't have teeth. It had guillotines for lips. All right, eyes up, because apparently even the sky was just another prehistoric crime scene. Enter Quetzalcoatlus, the only animal that could give your nightmares a fear of heights. Not a bird, not a plane, just a pterosaur with a wingspan that could block out your Wi-Fi. 36 feet across. That's not a wingspan, that's a midlife crisis with feathers. Forget Cessnas. This thing was a flying tax audit. Scientists spent years wondering how it got airborne. Turns out, it pole vaulted itself into the sky like a caffeinated gymnast who just got a parking ticket. On land, Quetzalcoatlus stood as tall as a giraffe. Yes, a giraffe. Because nothing says sleep well, like a reptilian skyscraper lurking outside your cave. This thing could photobomb Google Earth. You'd check your satellite view and see a giant winged reptile giving your house the side eye. And now, for our final freak in this evolutionary talent show, Thylacosmilus, the saber-toothed mammal that looks like evolution lost a bet. At first glance, it screams saber-toothed cat. Plot twist. It's not a cat, not even a distant cousin. It's a marsupial, basically a saber-toothed kangaroo with commitment issues. This was a saber-toothed, pouched weirdo. Evolution must have been playing Mad Libs. Give me a mammal, 2 fangs, and a pouch. Perfect. Its canines grew all the way up to its skull and never stopped. Imagine a rodent's teeth, but with more existential dread. It had to gnaw constantly or risk its teeth going full DIY brain surgery. That's not adaptation, that's a warranty recall. To keep those fangs in check, it had bony jaw flanges, a built-in sheath, nature's way of saying, I dare you to make fun of my overbite. And there you have it, 7 of evolution's wildest fever dreams, each one proof that Mother Nature sometimes just hits shuffle. So next time you think your ex is a monster, remember, at least they're not a skyscraper-sized lizard or a saber-toothed marsupial with dental drama.